the Whirligig Festival in Wilson, North Carolina. And if you don't know what a whirligig is, welcome to the club. You probably don't know what a Wilson whirligig is. There's a painting I did yesterday that's not finished, of a bunch of whirligigs. What has made them famous here in Wilson is that a man named Wallace Simpson, about 30 years ago, not quite 30 years ago, started building these things in his retirement. And they have since gone on to become sort of slightly world famous. And they're huge. So they're like 40 feet tall and 3 tons and stuff like that, you know? They're quite impressive. Most of them made out of scrap metal and sheet metal and all kinds of found objects. A lot of fun. So it's kind of put Wilson on the map. And so they've had a Whirligig Festival every fall for the last 15 years, I believe. I think this is the 15th annual, and I've been here for 10 of those 15. Let me make sure you can see my painting here. So you're up here on my platform, so when I move like that, you're going to move. Sorry about that. I'll have you down on the main floor later on today. So I'm doing 3 paintings on my big equipment. And yesterday I didn't even finish one, which is a little distressing. I like normally to finish one painting in a day. But so the festival hasn't officially started. It doesn't start until noon today. That's 40 minutes from now. So I'd really like to have at least one painting finished by the time the majority of folks start getting here. And as you can see, I'm down to pretty much final touches. Maybe not quite final touches, but zeroing in on the home stretch anyway. I hope you can't hear that music. I'll get a notice from YouTube that I violated copyright. I hope you can't hear it. And if you can't, do you know what I'm talking about? That's a good thing. There's a banner across the street over here. So I'm painting the view to my right, not from where I'm standing, not the view from where I'm standing, but I took a picture. I've got that picture here on my iPad. So I'm using that quite a bit. But I've taken quite a few liberties. Everybody can easily tell what it is that I've painted. They just they won't notice that I've moved buildings around and things like that. I should say probably most of them won't notice that I've moved buildings around, things like that, to try to get a good composition. Okay, sign finished. Where can I use some more of this purple? Usually on somebody's clothing. Yeah. Oh, and how about over here on a... Am I on this? No, I'm not. You can't see what I'm doing. Sorry about that. There are a lot of whirligigs at the small homemade whirligigs of all different sort of windmill things at this festival, as you can imagine. A lot of craftspeople coming to this festival because of its theme. So that's kind of fun. I have a dirty reddish purple on my brush. Where can I put some of that? Yeah, up here. Puts me in the mood to do a little bit more red somewhere. Not crazy about that red. It's too dark. I don't know if you know this, this breakable law of painting. That's the name of my book that I'm working on quite a bit these days. There are laws of painting. They can all be broken, of course, but you got to know what they are and know how to break them, or you're probably just screwing up. That's the subtitle. And one of the laws is we don't like to see dark paint on top of light paint. I just spent half a day this past week writing a whole page on why we don't like dark on top of light and what to do about it, how to circumvent that issue, that problem. Anyway, so it was fresh in my mind, and I just put some dark paint, just then dark red on top of stuff, and it didn't look very good, and that is the rule that I was violating. And I didn't violate it well, so no, it didn't look good. So the rule stood unviolated, inviolate in that case. Here's a good old gnarly brush. Has a mind of its own, doesn't do exactly what you tell it to. Sometimes that's just the kind of brush you want. One that doesn't do what you tell it to do. In fact, I think probably my progression in the world of painting is not unlike a lot of other people's. That when I first started oil painting, which is fairly late in life, I had done every other medium as a professional illustrator for decades before I turned to any oil painting. And when I first did so, I bought a number of synthetic sable brushes, right? The nice brushes that are soft and have like not any of these. And the reason is they do what they're told. They do what you tell them to do. And I liked that because, like most wannabe painters, I was a control freak. And I liked my brush doing what I told it to do. I don't know how many years in I was to oil painting before I switched to bristle brushes, precisely because they do not do exactly what you tell them to. They have a mind of their own. And again, if you're not a painter, then that won't make sense. You go, what? I want a brush that does what I tell it to. Yep, and that's because, like the rest of us, you're a control freak, and you think that good painting lies down the path of control. Welcome back. I lost you for a minute there, but I think we're back now. And I don't know when it went out. I was talking about realism requires no explanation, right? When you do realistic painting, the audience does not have to participate. They do not need to engage, so to speak. Whereas with impressionistic, or what I like to call abstract realism, like this, the audience, the viewer, has to engage and participate. And some people don't like that. They do want you to do all the work. And I would call it a lesser degree of artist or visual sophistication. And it's not something you have to learn to be trained to do. It's in fact quite the opposite. It's something that you lose if your childlikeness fades away in adulthood. So the inability to engage with abstract images is not something that you need to learn. You knew it as a child. It's something that if you have some particular challenges in your youth and upbringing, you get grumpy. It's the best way to put it. And then you lose the ability to engage simply with the visual world and visual art. That doesn't mean that everybody that does realism has those issues. I don't mean that. But there are in fact people, anal retentive, obsessive, compulsive, tend to be personalities who have a hard time letting go of their judgment and experiencing. Anyway, I could go on, and I'm probably already in too much trouble. I'm going to stop right there. I'm trying to, of course, as you can see here, I've got some really, really light paint on my brushes, and I'm trying to really make sure I've got this focal point part of the painting, the glow in the street, well established. All soft stuff. Soft edges. Yeah, let's get a... Yeah, I feel like that's working better. Now, I need to come back and lighten up the sky. Whoops, are you seeing what I'm doing? I think so. Okay. Let me come in here now and give the sky just a little bit more light. There shouldn't be anything usually in the scene that is brighter than the sky. Although that's a typical or traditional landscape approach. The sky is the lightest, brightest, whitest thing in the painting. But in so many of my paintings, including this one, I have the sun coming in from a rather extreme angle. By the way, there's one great big dose of unrealism. Two. One is yesterday there was no sun shining ever all day long. So the lighting here is hello. I'm talking to my camera, but I can talk to you too.
I have just opened up a Republican museum.
A what?
A Republican Party museum.
Okay.
I was wondering if you could do something like this with like the president's pictures. Like
Yeah.
The White House maybe with the Republican president.
Certainly.
Would that be something that would be possible?
Yeah, it's possible. For a price. Here, be sure to take one of my... What is your name?
Christy File.
And where's this museum?
Right here
In Wilson. Fantastic.
It's going to be downtown by next year this time.
Fantastic.
But I
Good.
thought that would be beautiful.
Please I'd sure be interested, and I support the sentiment. Take a couple cards so you don't lose them.
And I will,
Great, Cynthia.
give you a call.
Okay, please do. That sounds great. I'd love to. Thank you. I was talking about something, wasn't I? Doesn't matter. It'll come back to me if it was important. Oh, I remember I was talking about two fictions that are happening here. One is the sun never did shine yesterday, really, at all. So all the light is made up. But the other is that if the light was coming in at this extreme angle, this would be about 7:30 or 8 o'clock in the morning. And of course, there was nobody out here but the vendors setting up their booths at 8 o'clock yesterday morning. So I've got fictions going left galore here, left, right, and center. Oh, and then I was talking about normally the sky is the lightest, brightest, whitest thing in a painting. Unless the sun is low to the horizon, then you have sun rays hitting at an extreme angle, then the objects they're hitting can be lighter, which is exactly what is happening in this painting, which again would never really happen. For the sun to be at this angle, it would be about 8 o'clock yesterday morning, and there weren't any people out here at 8 o'clock in the morning. So, but I think most people will never put those kind of things together. Viewers of the painting, very few, probably nobody will ever look at this painting and say, well, wait a minute. If the sun's that low that he's indicating, that'd be about 8 o'clock in the morning. Nobody, it's just probably not going to happen. You with me? Okay, but I do want to make my sky just a little bit brighter, lighter than it is right now. You've maybe heard me mention this before, but at this stage of the painting course, I'm using a lot of white paint, right, mixed with everything, and so titanium white, and I have, for several years now, I've been always use alkyd. Okay, I'm still here. I got this nice blue on my brushes. I'm going to take advantage to bring some of the glow down from this blue canopy onto all the stuff underneath it. Okay, flesh tone on people. That's what I was talking about. These people right here, good candidates to be walking toward us, I think. And some necks and the backs of some people here. Right, bare neck. No, it should have one blonde in here somewhere. Let's make this girl blonde. And then some arms. Let's mix up a little darker brown now for variety. I really want to be careful not to get too much detail in these figures. It's not my style. I don't want people. I want to keep them very abstract again, so that your mind, the viewer's mind, finishes the picture, turns them into people. Very delicate balance, and not one that I feel like I always hit, mind you. It's one I always aim for. Always aim for, sometimes hit, right? I will be looking at this painting, of course, throughout the rest of the day, so I can come back and make little changes as I see the need. But I think I'm ready to quit right about now. Nope. As soon as I say that, and I've got some trees in here that need just a little bit of highlight, so let me get that really quickly. There's green on, a little bit of green on somebody here, since I've got the green mixed up. Yeah, a little bit there, and maybe one person there, and one person there. Okay, I think I'm ready to stop for a while. Oh, I have to do that flag, but you don't have to watch me do that. Thanks for watching. I'll be back later on today. It tends to get really noisy and busy around here, so I can't broadcast quite as readily. But I hope to see you again later today. Thanks so much for watching.